I'm back! Okay, before we get into it, I just want to address two absolute legends who left lovely comments on my Last of Us video. I won't name and shame, because this ain't high school, but one of you basically implied I must be some kind of masochist for continuing to watch the show if I don't like it. Buddy, if anyone's getting off here, it's you. Watching a painfully average show, week to week, led by someone who looks like a sentient potato and shacks up with a spicy side character, and you're still defending it like it's your kink. Sounds like you're the one pitching a tent in the sight of mediocrity. But hey, no judgment. Some people like feet, you like mid storytelling, same thing. But seriously, I don't hate this show. I actually love The Last of Us as a story. I'm in that minority group of fans who loved both Part 1 and Part 2 of the game, so I have every right to be disappointed if the show doesn't hit the same emotional depth, character nuance, or intensity. I'm not here just to complain. I want the show to do well. That's why I keep watching, because I hope it delivers. I want a solid hour of great TV, but when it doesn't land, yeah, I'm gonna say something. And to the people asking, why watch if you don't like it? Let me explain something. They're making the show for people like me and you. They're literally selling it to us. They want our attention, our engagement, our money. So asking why I'd watch and criticize it is like asking why someone paid for a dodgy meal and left a bad review. If they're gonna market this like it's The Last of Us, one of the most iconic, gut-wrenching, powerful stories in gaming, then yeah, I expect it to live up to that, especially if I'm paying. Alright, so The Last of Us Part 2 Season 1 is wrapped. So let's look at the last episode for a second and where we're at. In the finale, Ellie and Dina continue to search for Abby, but the episode slows down and becomes more focused on emotion and plot. We get more flashbacks and forward momentum. Ellie confronts Mel and Owen in a toned down version of that brutal scene from the game where Ellie kills Mel by mistake and not in self-defense. Abby's path finally intersects with Ellie's, the tension that should be climaxing plateaus, and the final scene hints at Abby and Ellie continuing their journey, but the emotional payoff is a little bit limp. I loved the game. Like, top tier narrative experience. But this show, mid with moments, it had the framework of something great, but lacked the emotional steel and tonal commitment to hit like the source material. Bella Ramsey as Ellie. I've tried. I've really tried. But Bella Ramsey just doesn't have the emotional range, or frankly the look, to carry the show that's meant to be brutal, complex, and soaked in grief. Ellie is one of the most iconic characters in modern storytelling, and I just didn't buy it. She doesn't look like Ellie, she doesn't move like Ellie, and she sure as hell doesn't act like Ellie. The decision to change the depth and urgency of Dina's pregnancy reveal, weird. Like, the game gave that reveal weight. Ellie kind of freaks out and nearly quits to go back with Dina, saying, "We have to go back, you're in danger," implying you can't have a pregnant woman out here trying to kill things, you could die. But in the show, it becomes a meme moment, coining the now infamous term, "I'm gonna be a dad." Bella's reaction just didn't land. Instead of emotional depth, we got blank TikTok humour. It's just not good enough. I'm gonna say it again, that cake smash, oh my god. Whose idea was that? It felt like a deleted scene from a bad CW show. I actually laughed out loud, not because it was funny, but because it was so dumb. It crossed into comedy gold. I half expected a laugh track to roll in. Like, what does this add? This is The Last of Us, not Bake Off. And so, the biggest twist this season for me? Abby is now the one who actually feels like Ellie. Caitlin Deaver's performance, look, and energy all carry way more of that Ellie DNA than Bella ever managed. When your side character is embodying the spirit of the main character better than the lead, that's a problem. I watched this expecting to see Ellie spiral, consumed by vengeance like the game, but instead she's cracking jokes, getting giggly, and getting sidelined by Jesse and Dina. Where's the rage? Where's the trauma-fueled dissent? In the game, Ellie does some truly horrific things, and we feel it. We feel her moral decay. In the show, it's like Bella's stuck on neutral. She has two facial expressions, and neither of them say vengeance. She never feels threatening, never feels like she could snap. She doesn't scare me. Another change they added, was that Ellie didn't know where Abby was immediately in the TV show. In the game, she gets this information from Nora, which makes the torture scene from earlier episodes a waste. In the show, she only realizes this later when returning to the theatre, and it's just more not allowing Ellie to delve into the dark place. Just inconsistent. Now look, I'll acknowledge this. Maybe the showrunners aren't actually going for a dark revenge story. Well, not fully. There are key changes that support this idea. For example, in the game, Ellie kills Mel in a brutal self-defense. It's one of the most gut-wrenching moments because Mel's pregnant, and it sends Ellie and the player spiraling. It's messy, it's morally grey, it's dark as hell. But in the show, Mel gets accidentally shot when Owen pulls out a gun. No choice, no hesitation, no trauma, just oops. And that hit completely different. It's like the writers were scared to let Ellie be morally compromised. They're sanitizing her journey. They want to have their revenge cake and eat it too. They lean on the memory of the game's intensity, expecting the audience to fill in the blanks emotionally, but they refuse to commit to those darker beats in the actual scenes. Instead of showing Ellie walking that razor-thin line between vengeance and becoming a monster, we get the clean version. She didn't mean to kill Mel. It was an accident. She's still a good person. Come on, that's such a cop-out. And if you're gonna take the audience's emotional investment from the game, you better pay it off. Don't bait us with the illusion that it's the same revenge arc, only to pull back whenever it gets real. Either go there or don't pretend. One bright spot though, Pedro. Pedro was consistent the whole season. That man carried season 1, and he brought the same weight to season 2. He's Joel, always has been, always will be. The showrunners were smart to keep him. He grounds everything. The finale could have been a sledgehammer to the chest, but instead it was more like getting slapped with a damp sock. We should have seen Ellie crack. We should have been sweating, unsure if we even like her anymore, but instead, we're watching her get undercut by the script, neutered by inconsistent direction, and played by an actor who doesn't have the menace. The Nora confrontation was neutered. The Mel and Owen confrontation was muted. The emotional climax wasn't a climax. It was a shrug. So yeah, this isn't hate, it's disappointment. When you adapt one of the most impactful stories you've ever told in games, you don't get to be okay. You have to be excellent. And this season, it just wasn't. I'll watch season 2.5 or whatever they call it, but if the majority of the cast still can't carry the weight, then it might be time for HBO to find a new kind of infected, the emotionally infected, because this show is missing its soul. And like that, we're done for another video. Thanks for following me along. I'm sorry this was a bit of a moan. I just wasn't happy with that ending. I've been away for a wee bit. Hopefully I'll get these out a bit quicker over the next few weeks and moving forward. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'm back, baby. Talk to you soon. Bye.